You are tuned in to Kids
In the Pit.
Hey guys, it's Gabe
and Lucy
from the Kids in the Pit podcast. Today we're joined by Lynn from the band Bad Cop, Bad Cop.
Hi, and my dog. Hi guys, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Thank you so much for having me on this, by the way. Gabe, it's really nice to meet you. I hope I get to actually meet you face to face. I think you guys may have come to one of our shows, but I just didn't get a chance to meet you in person.
We saw your part of your set at Fest. That was cool.
Oh, cool. Awesome. And of course, Lucy, my darling, I haven't seen you in 6 years?
Yeah, it's been a while since
Yeah, but I absolutely love and adore you. So and it's always great to see your face.
Yep. So what do you do in Bad Cop, Bad Cop?
I sing and I play bass, slap at the bass, like Paul Rudd, slap at the bass. And yeah, that's what I do. And fellow dog lover.
Nice. Yeah, I have a dog too, but well, I have two dogs, but they're both too big. So yeah.
Yeah, very grateful that this one's only 6.5 pounds. Both of my cats are actually bigger than this one, so that there's that.
So,
but she's known as
Bad Cop start.
Bad Cop. So I'm not actually the original bass player. So I joined in 2011 or 12. I actually don't remember, to be honest with you. But I'm pretty sure, I'm confident that Bad Cop started in 2011 and I came on board in 2012.
Nice.
So it's been a while.
Yeah. So where's Bad Cop, Bad Cop from? And do you all still live there?
Well, we're all from different parts of the country, pretty much. I mean, I'm from. I grew up in upstate New York, in Rochester, which is pretty near, between Buffalo and Syracuse, and I lived in Philadelphia for almost 10 years, and now I currently live in Long Beach. Stacy's from the Bay Area, like around near San Francisco, a place called Half Moon Bay. She also currently lives in Long Beach as well. Myra is from San Pedro, California. Grew up there, still lives there. That's where we practice. and Jenny, who was formerly in Bad Cop, she's originally from Michigan, she now lives in Southern California. And Alex, who's been filling in for Jenny for recently. She's originally also, she's from Illinois and now lives in the Valley. So yeah, we all pretty much live in Southern California. So.
Nice.
For those who are not similar with Bad Cop, what song should they look up? And do you have a favorite song from Bad Cop, Bad Cop?
Well, I've got a few. I think the most well-known one, or the most common song, is "Womanarchist." It looks like "Woman Christ" when you look at if you're not reading it right. But yeah, "Womanarchist" is definitely a top-notch favorite. "Simple Girl" off of our new album is also a favorite as well. So, and "Nightmare." We've got some good jams out there, but I think if you hadn't heard of us before and want to check us out, those would probably be the top two that I would probably recommend.
Yep. So what was the first punk show you attended, and how old were you?
First punk show I attended, I was in my 20s. I actually didn't really discover punk rock music until after I moved to Philadelphia, so that was pretty wild. But the first show, oh my God, I feel like it was a Dropkick Murphy show at the Electric Factory in Philadelphia. Oh, I see a puppy. Look at that, Eddie. Look it. It's a friend. It's a friend.
I got him.
Also, another thing is that it's kind of stormy outside my house, so just ignore the thunder. So yeah.
Okay. Well, be safe out there. I know it's like hurricane season, isn't it?
Yeah, summer and
You okay? You okay?
so what are some of your favorite bands to listen to sorry. What are
That's
some of your
okay.
favorites to listen to recorded and some of your favorite bands to see live?
One, if you don't know me already, you'll come to find out that I love hot water music. I love their album. I love they have influenced the way I write, the way I sing, everything. So and watching live as a whole, they're one of the very few bands that I'll actually cry when I see them. So hot water music being one of them. Against Me is also up there on that list too. Um, Comeback Kid, I love Comeback Kid. Those guys are so the insane, absolutely insane. Those are just to name a few. Of course, there's so many more that I could just list off and talk about for ages, but I'm gonna stick with those for right now.
Yeah. I love Comeback Kid, and Hot Water Music is actually my favorite band.
Hey, video high five. Woo.
Yep. Okay. High five. Okay.
High five.
Wait, so you sung with them at Fest, right?
I did. I did not expect that to happen. It was so rad. And it had always been like a bucket list item of mine to do it. And I got to sing with, Hot Water Music when we played a few shows with them back in July, and which was magical. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And then when we played with them at Fest, they're playing Drag My Body, and Chuck looks over and he's like, come on up here. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? And his his mother, his gorgeous mother, is like, honey, I think my son wants to sing with you. And so I was like, wow, I'm gonna go up there now.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a dream come true that was.
Chuck might do my podcast sometime soon, so if he does
Oh,
that, it'll be
I
fun.
can't hear you guys.
Oh. Hello.
What's going on?
Or
My mic's on. Lucy, do you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Okay, but I can't hear you guys. Here, let me try to take off my earbuds real quick.
Okay.
We can edit this out. No big deal.
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry,
I can hear
like
you guys better.
looking down at the phone to see what question is next.
I know it's harder. You gotta find a better way to do questions.
Drums.
Air drums,
Air drums, yes. Dog drum. Dog
dog
drum.
drums.
Doggy drummer. Yeah, I cannot pick up my dog like that because he's like big.
My dog is too wide. He's actually
Yeah,
he got the nickname Potato now. He's too my dog is too fat. I love him.
One of my dogs.
aw, big little chomp.
So
You got
yeah, you
yourself
can hear us
some.
now then? Because
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
What were we gonna say about Chuck? Go ahead.
Yeah, Chuck might do my podcast sometime because he's
That's awesome. Oh my God, what a great person to have on your podcast. What he is just an absolute gem of a human. Like,
he's so nice.
my God, just such a sweet man.
I saw them in Baltimore at the Auto Bar.
Mhm.
I think that was my first hot water show.
So good. They're
but
so
yeah.
good.
I can't remember if it was Underground Arts or if it was at the Auto Bar, but yeah, at the Auto Bar in Baltimore,
Mhm.
I got to head backstage and meet them, and they were all so nice.
Yeah.
George gave me a drumstick.
Nice, nice, very nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that Jason Black is one of the most incredible bass players. Like whenever I hear their songs and I just hear like a sick little bass riff, I'm just like, yeah, that's unfair.
He's
Like I
great.
don't know how to do that.
And bam, bam, he
Oh, it's so good.
he does some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I know. I think he's one of the most underrated bass players out there, but That's just me.
I have his Bassists Against Racist shirt.
Oh, yay. Thank you so much for getting that.
Yeah.
We're so stoked to have him on there.
Yep. Yeah, so that's your company, right?
Yeah, it's not really a company at all. It's just a campaign that I had started back in October of 2020. Mainly because I just wanted to see if there was a way to contribute to these organizations that need help. You know, especially when it comes to spreading the message of anti-racism and being pro-LGBTQ, pro-feminism, pro-refugee. There's so many of these organizations that diligently work out there that need, you know, that need the funding. And I'm like, well, I don't personally have a lot of money to give out, but why don't we, you know, give a shout out to Basis out there and raise, you know, get these shirts printed out. And that's why they're only available for that month. So it's like super, you know, exclusive, and raise money for these organizations to the best of our ability as well. So yeah, and I'm gonna keep going until I run out of bass players. So, and it's not just punk rock music either, like it's all bassists. So any bassists out there of all genres, you could even be, you know, you could even be playing, you know, as a bassist for like, you know, Lizzo or something, you know, and be featured. No, it's all inclusive. As long as you stand in solidarity for these, you know, these causes and want to raise money for these causes, we'll be happy to put you on a shirt.
Chicken agrees.
What's that?
Chicken agrees. He says yes.
Oh. Hi, Chicken. Oh my gosh. Eddie says hi, Chicken, right now too. She's very confused as to what's going on, but I'm petting her so she doesn't mind.
My dog Roxy, so that's not the dog you just saw, that's my other dog.
Oh.
She used to so we have chickens, and she like a few years ago used to try to eat chickens.
Oh my God.
We got like one or two.
Protect this.
Protect Chicken at all costs, Lucy.
Yep. Don't let my dog near that chicken. Even like Clark near it, but not Roxy. So, yep. So, what is your favorite place you've toured in?
Ooh. Right now, I mean, that's so hard to answer because there's been so many awesome places that we've gone to, like playing in, you know, Australia was really cool. But I think my favorite city so far has been well, I mean, the favorite place I played at was in Slovenia for Punk Rock Holiday, which is I think the best. And no offense to any other festivals that are in Europe, please don't think that I'm like poo on all the other ones. But this one, it just like it was so beautiful there because it's on this beautiful lake, and it was really cool because the main stage has like this platform like right in front of it, so that way people can come up and stage dive if they wanted to without interfering with the band if the band didn't want them up on the stage. So it was kind of like the best of both worlds, which by the way, I think most festivals should do. You know, because they should put a platform. People want to stage dive. That's awesome. It gets them more amped up and engaged and stuff like that. But you know, if bands don't necessarily want them on the stage with them, that protects the band, you know, the band members as well. So but yeah, they had that, and the crowd goes insane. Lucy, I'm pretty sure I caught footage of your dad and your uncle playing it, and the crowd just cut, like they let everybody on stage, and I think your dad was like standing on an amp or something like that.
I'm like in the very corner in that photo.
Yeah, that was insane to watch.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Like for me personally, I'm not really huge onto having too many people on the stage. I've gotten hit too many times in the face with you know, my microphone, and I've already got a chipped tooth. I don't need to make it any worse. But I think it's just really cool to have an option for the crowd that's the platform in front of the stage, so that way if they want to crowd surf and do cartwheels and whatever the hell they want to do, it's there for them, but without, you know, it interfering with band members. And so yeah, like I think that Punk Rock Holiday, if you ever get a chance, Gabe, if you ever get a chance to go,
is awesome, especially
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
like because when I was at that festival or club show, I don't really remember festival. I think.
Yeah.
My dad brought me on top of one of the amps, and then I was just kind of standing up there. Then I got scared, I jumped down and chilled by the soundboard.
Yeah.
Then went on stage, and then went back. So it was really
Oh,
cool.
nice. Did you get to swim in the lake?
No, yeah, I did actually.
Okay, yeah, that lake is awesome. The lake is like, Gabe, this lake is just beautiful. And it's like the water is like crystal blue.
When we went, it was ice. Like it
Oh,
was cold.
oh,
I think
yeah.
it was summer though. I don't know. I guess it was just kind of cold when we went.
Yeah. I mean, I would still put my body in that water. I don't care how cold it is. I'm just like, put me in a body of water and I'm relaxed. So
Yep. Mom, can we go to punk rock bowling? I'm not punk rock bowling. Well, I do want to go
Rock
there.
holiday.
Punk rock holiday.
Maybe.
Punk rock
I want
holiday.
it so bad.
You've got a lot of time on your hands, Gabe. I'm sure you'll get there at some point. If you're not going there as a patron, I'm sure you'll probably get there to play.
Yeah,
Um,
hopefully.
You know, I see your videos playing music. You just keep it going. Eventually the momentum's gonna keep keep it driving.
Yep.
Well, do you have any crazy tour stories you want to share?
Let me see. There was trying to think like crazy wise. Oh yeah, when we almost got stranded in Europe during the right before the pandemic.
Oh my god.
God.
We were on tour in March of 2020 and like in Europe with Make War and like things were going good. It was like right when like COVID was like kind of being introduced into the world, but it wasn't really taken seriously.
Yeah.
And then we kept seeing like our shows get canceled.
Yeah.
And so it was like a little bit scary. And so we were driving from, I think it was from Switzerland to Paris. It was definitely to Paris because that was our last show. And we get the call from our booking agent saying, so you guys need to get home because we don't know if you can. And like after I had spent like the entire time like before our set trying to book flights and I couldn't book flights and I'm kind of freaking out about this a little bit. So finally we just played and like I was like, let's just get to the airport, see what we can do. The airport was closed. And so we're like, okay, let's get a hotel. So as we get to the hotel and I'm like on my laptop, like trying to book flights, we finally got flights booked back, which was fortunate. And then, flying back, we didn't know if we were going to be like quarantined or something because, nobody knew what the heck was going on.
Yeah.
And so it was, I mean, I guess in hindsight, like could have been worse places to be stranded if you got stranded. I mean, I would not be bummed being stranded in Paris. But
I was there with my dad for a few days. Anyway, continue.
Oh yeah, no, Paris is a beautiful city.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just wanted to be home. We all wanted to be home and wanted to make sure that we didn't have to, put ourselves in quarantine for, 14 days or something like that, So, but yeah, that was a pretty wild time because again, like things were great at the beginning of the tour. I think our tour was like supposed to be 4 weeks and it was only 2 weeks in. And then like, our shows were getting canceled and then we're like, okay, can we even get home? So that was one of the most wild experiences, that's for sure.
But yeah, because on like the 5-week tour we did this summer, the first bus we got it had broken air, it was extremely small and it was dark. Like a dark deep purple in the direct sunlight. And the entire interior was all black. It was so hot. It felt like you were in an oven for like the first 2 weeks of the tour. One of the times is that we had like a long drive and we were supposed to get there in like 2 hours. It took 8 hours because of traffic. I was boiling. There was only leather seats and everybody was starting to lose their mind. And one of the bus drivers was like dead asleep and the other one was so tired. And so he turned away, he looked back and there was a truck, dead stop traffic. He jammed on the brakes and Like the bus almost didn't stop. We were like this close from hitting it.
Is
Luckily, we got the other bus, and it was like the big red double-decker bus. It was fun.
oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, like touring, you know, there's a lot of perception that like touring's about like being a rock star and getting to do all these I mean, don't get me wrong, like being able to be given the opportunity to travel and play shows and doing what you love is a gift. It is something that I do not take lightly, but it also doesn't come without a lot of extremely hard work. Extremely hard work and being able to adapt to situations that are not comfortable a lot of times. Like,
Yeah.
Lucy, I know that you've experienced it firsthand with being,
Yeah.
on the road with your dad. There's yeah. And like, being on, taking like 9+ hour drives or
Yeah.
just only having like 3 hours of sleep. Like it can be it's a tough job. It's not easy. Like unless
Yeah.
you're
Like-
but it's so worth it if you love to do it. And I absolutely love to do this. Like I love performing. I love being able to play music to an audience that is receptive to that and like will support it. And I also, at the same time, like to make an impact. Like I'd like to maybe be, an inspiration for, a little girl that looks like me that maybe didn't know that they could do this.
Yeah.
So, or, kids in general, like to teach younger generation that like, if you love what you do, it's worth all the nitty gritty, all the hurdles that you have to overcome to accomplish these goals. And it can get really tough. But in the, on the other side of things, and I say this sometimes, it's nothing that's ever worth it is ever easy.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, like it comes at, it comes with a lot of challenges, of course, but if you get the same type of feeling in the end after playing a show, it could be anywhere between like, I could play like a half hour or an hour. It's the same exact feeling after every show. And it's just happy,
Yeah.
just
That was
joy.
really cool place, and I think it was like some really, really small town with like the population of like 100. I don't remember the name because it was like something I can't really remember, but it was so beautiful. There was really nothing to do, but it was so beautiful. It was kind of just like the place where if you want to get away, you can get away. Because there was like, it was turning nighttime, and we just discovered that you could climb up the mountains, and we climbed up like a very short thing, and it went like from this to this. So we're just like, yeah, we're going back. And but on the way back down, we saw this nice, beautiful little house on the top of a mountain, and I was like, that is where I want to live.
Yeah.
It was surrounded by like a forest, which it was basically like a cabin, and it reminded me so much of where I want to be and live in the future. It really looked cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping someday that I'll have a cabin to escape to. I don't know if I can necessarily live out there like full time because I like a balance of both. I live being in Long Beach. I live like in the city part. So I'm one that likes to walk everywhere. So I love that. I love having the accessibility of things to do that, like, a few blocks away or like a $5 Uber ride or whatever. But there are moments where, going to a cabin in the middle of the woods or going camping, and like just being able to just like sit around a campfire or just hanging out and then, just enjoying your surroundings and seeing like I know it sounds corny, but like seeing the stars, like looking up and looking at the stars, there's something very, very peaceful about that. Or just watching the sunset, or if you really wanted to, watching the sunrise, so that whatever keeps you at peace, I think it's like, then you really like, I don't know, you're really living your life to the fullest of your own desires.
Yeah. I kind of find it funny that part of the time Lucy's like, "Hey, what you doing?"
Get close.
I find it like she's just like,
Get close.
"Hello." It's funny.
Hello.
Mhm.
Because
What
this
about
chair is a little too small for me, and I can't really. So I kind of just move around a lot.
I understand that. Most seats for me, fun fact, most seats are too tall for me because my legs are very short and so my feet dangle all the time. So that's my issue. I'm always like having to move around because my feet are just dangling like a 5-year-old.
So, what is your favorite type of food from another country?
Ooh, good question. I think my favorite, let me see. I think my favorite food from a different country. Okay. Oh, there's so many to choose from. And it's like,
Whoopsie! I dropped my question sheet.
that's okay. I think my favorite so far has been there's this restaurant in Italy, in Lecco, which is like adjacent, it's next to Lake Como, which fun fact, George Clooney lives there. But a beautiful lake that you can also swim in. But we had befriended these guys that are huge punk rock fans that own a restaurant called Grano Zero, which if you ever go to that restaurant because it's delicious. But they made us like a 7-course meal and like seafood that was like fresh out of, freshly caught that day. And it was just like authentic Italian food. And it was really cool because like their restaurant is beautiful. Like it's this rustic looking Italian restaurant with like brick and stone and and they had like all this cool punk rock memorabilia in there too. So it was kind of like the best of both worlds. You had the cult, your kind of gritty punk rock culture in there with like some, posters and guitars and stuff like from like Lagwagon and NoFX and blah blah blah. But then it was just like the super authentic Italian restaurant, and you got like the food was incredible. I haven't eaten that well in a very long time.
Yeah.
Go there. If you ever go to Lake Como or Lecco, go to Grano Zero. And Stefano and Alessandro will take really good care of you.
All right. So what is your favorite TV show or movie from when you were our age?
Oh, when I was your age? Oh, that's a good question. I was about to answer like, what's my favorite TV show right now? Which is Ted Lasso. Let's see. When I was your age, how old are you guys again?
We're both 11.
Yeah.
11. Ooh, okay. Let me see if I could barely think like 2 months ago. 11. I think, you know what? I think my favorite movie at the time, and it was shortly before that. I was a little bit younger when I got introduced to it, but my favorite movie at that time, because I was just kind of obsessed with watching it, was Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh.
Yeah, and that like triggered my love for British comedy. So then I got into watching like the show Absolutely Fabulous and the Vicar. Well, no, the Vicar definitely didn't come up, but like Faulty Towers, like a bunch of like different British comedy shows. So, but Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I think that was definitely in the top tier of favorite movies at that age, and still to this day.
Nice. So, what would be the coolest animal to scale up to? What would be the coolest animal to scale up to a size of a horse, and why?
What would be? I'm sorry. What was the question? What would be the coolest animal to what?
To
Decide
to
first.
scale up to the size of a horse.
Oh, I think my dog.
Who's just-
I think if she were as big as a horse, she would look like she would look like Sirius Black when he morphs into the little doggy, or or what was that professor in Harry Potter? Professor Lupin, because he was a werewolf, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
looks like a werewolf.
big
Yeah.
dog, but it's like a horse now.
Yeah,
Dog
I think
horse.
it'd be perfect. I think animal wise, I think it would be my doggy. I think that would be the coolest animal to scale up to the size of horse. Is that right, Eddie? Thank you.
Yeah.
So like the roaches down in Florida are like probably like this big or even
Yeah.
bigger.
Yep,
They're
that's a hard no.
And we actually at my dad's gym there was this roach and we named him Roachy and he was kind of deformed because out of all the bug spray we shot over the floor a few days before, and he was really cute, and I don't know where he is. He probably escaped. No.
Oh,
We had a
well,
pet roach.
hopefully you'll cross paths with Rochi again.
Would you want
Yeah.
to be a horse?
I'd probably scale him up to be the size of a horse.
Wow.
Just like a giant roach chasing people.
Roach.
That'd be really funny.
That's like something out of Men in Black.
Yeah. And when this was like way before COVID, this was when I was like in second grade when my dad went to the gym at like 3 a.m. There was this one person who wore this extremely oversized. We don't know who they were. We didn't know if they were a boy or girl. All we know is that they were kind of short, but they were fast. And they wore this like giant oversized orange hoodie with their long red hair covering their face. And whenever they would see our car, they'd chase after it and then they just stop. And then one morning they landed on our lawn and my dad was getting up to go to the gym, just standing there, like on our neighbor's lawn. It was like this. We were here, this was him or her.
Yep.
It was very weird, but
That's
we
definitely
saw
not
them
creepy at
riding
all.
bikes daytime
Right?
instead of the night.
I mean, hopefully that person's okay, but
Is that
that's
a demon?
a little
Is
bit
that
on
like
the
a
creepy
demon?
side.
Is that
They
like
kind of stood there. It was kind of funny. We had a video of it, but they chased you like a zombie or something. They kind of just ran like this.
they possessed or something?
Bath
I don't
salt.
know. It was really funny.
Bath
It
salt.
was funny. It became like an inside joke, and they got like the nickname the Squatchulator because Squatchulate means like.
Wow. That would terrify me. If somebody like showed up on my front lawn like that, I don't know how I would react, honestly. I'll be like, okay. Like grab like a yardstick and start poking them. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Can you please keep it at this distance
No, he's
though?
gone. I'm grabbing a sword and I'm gonna walk towards him with it. And if he doesn't get back, he's getting stabbed.
Oh, that's
If
not
you
the right kind of mindset, Gabe.
If you could
That's
tell,
why if you use a yardstick, at least you give him the benefit of the doubt. And then if he proceeds forward, then you just whack him with the stick. But with a sword, you can't take that kind of harm back.
What about yardstick and sword? So I push him with the yardstick, and if he comes towards me,
At least you give him the benefit of the doubt. And if he gets really aggressive, then the sword is then used as self-defense.
yes, I don't mean it as I am a psycho murderer.
Oh, I know you're
I
not.
mean, if they're gonna try to kill me, I want to defend myself with a sword.
Yeah.
so if you could tell your 11-year-old self anything, what would you tell her?
Keep trying. Keep trying. Just keep trying. That's all. Like, it gets hard, but just keep trying. Because that's all we can do, right? Like, it's about, the choices we make. And those choices give us chances. And so, yeah. And that chance is trying for me.
Yep. Well, anything to add before we wrap it up?
I think that because you guys were playing some music together for a while, yeah?
Yeah.
Trying
still
to
doing
find
it?
We formed a band. It's called Chemical Candies.
Yeah, we don't have any songs yet.
We don't have the songs. He made a song, but he hasn't recorded it, and I'm working on a song. So
That's awesome. Keep
Um,
it going. I cannot wait to hear it. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, we have
Like-
members all over. So I'm playing bass, and I live in
yeah,
Delaware.
he's in Delaware. I'm in Florida. We have somebody in Boston. Somebody farther. We have.
Yeah, we
Wait,
have
where in Delaware are you at, Gabe?
We also have
Middletown.
somebody again too. I think.
Where in Delaware are you at, Gabe?
Middletown.
Oh, okay. It's funny. I used to go to Rehoboth Beach all the time.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I
I
go
lived
there.
in Philly. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a great beach city. So yeah, for some reason I thought you were in Baltimore. So, but anyways, yeah, I think that the last thing I have to say is I can't wait to see you guys create something.
Yep.
I'm very excited about that, and I think it's admirable of you guys to to put yourselves out there doing this podcast, and writing music together, and yeah, having members from all over. If you haven't checked out the band Meet Me at the Altar, that's how they started.
Nice.
So, and they're fantastic. And they all lived in different parts of the country too. And then it's just a 3-piece, but they all got together and now they're, opening up for Paramore and stuff like that. So pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And I think you guys have the capability of doing the same thing.
Yep. Hopefully.
Yeah, I believe in it.
Mhm.
Believe. Oh, I'm sorry. Try. Keep trying. So.
Alrighty. Wow. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Thank you so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lynn, for joining us today.
And
Thank you so
thanks
much for having us.
for hosting.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, guys, and having Eddie. I'll see you next time, hopefully at a show.
Yep.
Just say bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Great, guys. Well,